Hi, I'm Jonathan Knight of B-Movie Madness, and I come from the future to deliver a message to my past self. He'll understand this when he sees it. Now that I placed it where it belongs, I have to leave. I will tell you this, though. You will not understand this now. But soon you will fear the name Oxley. He means harm, and he will destroy everything you know and love. Already too late. But at least I've warned you. Hey guys, what are you doing here? I don't remember if I was going to shoot it. They didn't tell me when I was shooting a show today. Well, anyways, welcome. I'm Jonathan Knight, and this is B-Movie Madness. Hi, welcome back. I'm really glad you came back. Now, let's look in the old bag and see what we have to review tonight. Which you probably already know what it is because of my intro picture, but still, I like doing this, so don't take that away from me. Oh, look! Ooh, a good one. It's The Sins of Dracula. Now, I'll get into it in a minute, but despite this shitty-ass cover, this is actually a really awesome little independent horror film, and it was directed by Richard Griffin. Is it Richard Griffin? Richard Griffin. Now, if you've never heard of him, well, I'd never heard of him until last year when I got some DVDs of his, and he is simply one of the best independent directors working today. His stuff obviously is low budget, and sometimes the budget really does show. But his films, in my opinion, are always entertaining, no matter what. Even the ones I really didn't care about that much, I still enjoyed a little bit because his films have a lot of energy and entertainment value to them. And my favorite films of his are The Disco Exorcist, which is the throwback to, possession movies of the 1970s. And Murder University, which was a throwback to 80s slasher movies, which I really want to do a review of that one because that movie kicked some serious ass. Even though it's, like I said, the budget shows sometimes. That movie had a cool story. It had an opening theme song, which is rare. It had a lot of great kills, practical kills, I might add. It had some great sex and some nudity. And by I mean great sex and nudity, the sex scenes are actually believable. You know what I mean? Believable. And the final twist and finale were fantastic. Like I said, I'm going to do a review of that one because I really enjoyed Murder University. It's not going to work for everybody, but for a slasher geek like me, I thought that film hit all the right notes. It's almost perfect at what it was trying to achieve. But Sins of Dracula. Now, what's Sins of Dracula, you might ask? Well, Sins of Dracula is Richard Griffin's throwback to the Hammer Dracula movies. It's also a kind of spoof or parody of Christian scare movies. Now, personally, I've never actually heard of it. I've never actually seen a Christian scare movie, but, you can imagine what they are. They're trying to scare you of sinning at all. And that really has a lot to do with this movie, because the movie is about a young kid who is very, very religious, but he is really in love with his girlfriend, who he wants to desperately sleep with, and who desperately wants to sleep with him. And to get closer to her, he joins the local theater group she's part of, which has like a gay kid in it, which he's uncomfortable with, a pillhead. There's like a Dungeons and Dragons, like, girly geek. There's also, I believe, like an anti-establishment kid who, hates the man. And it's all ran by this really eccentric theater manager, who you find out is actually a Satanist who is trying to bring back the corpse of Dracula. And meanwhile, while this happens, the young boy, whose name is Billy, is trying to fight his urge to sleep with his girlfriend. What I really liked about this movie is one thing, the acting for the most part is actually really decent. The actor who played the eccentric theater owner, whose name escapes me, make sure I'm going to go back in time and leave myself a note in this DVD case letting me know that guy's name. Time machine, time machine. Okay. There we go. Stephen O'Brien, which I believe is his name. He was fantastic, very energetic, very over the top. The main kid, I think right here, Jamie Default, he was also the lead in Murder University. He was really good. He really convincing at playing this over religious, annoying kid basically, but you can't blame him. Michael Thurber plays Dracula, and much like Christopher Lee in Prince of Darkness, he has no dialogue except for the last scene. So his role is basically silent. He does a good job just standing there looking like fucking creepy and shit. He's pretty good. One person, the only person except for some of the other actors who appeared in Richard Griffin's films over the years, was Carmen Banico. I cannot pronounce his last name. He was the lead in Psychos of Love, which was an 80s horror comedy, which is such a bizarre and offbeat film, and I loved it. Loved it. It's not going to work for everybody, but I do highly recommend it still. Checking out Psychos of Love. And Carmen, not even going to try his last name again, he was really good in here. He had like a deadpan. He was like the pastor. He had like a deadpan delivery. It was hilarious. Let me go into the positive and negatives. I've been talking about positives, but let me just put it online. Positives, acting was pretty good. I liked the cinematography. It was great for an independent movie. There was quite a bit of gore. The special effects were actually not that bad. It was really entertaining. The finale especially was pretty entertaining. I really liked how that all came about. It reminded me like Fright Night a little bit, maybe. There's a sex scene. There's two sex scenes that happen at the same time. The sex scene between the lead and his girlfriend, and two guys. And how it was done was really cool. The music and everything. And the gay sex scene actually reminded me a lot of like Fright Night. Kind of like when Jerry is seducing Evil Ed. It reminded me a lot of that. It was pretty cool. Negatives, I don't really have much negatives to say about it. The finale could have been longer, but from what we have, it's good enough. Really have no complaints about this. I really love this. I'll have a complaint. Not for the movie itself, but this cover is fucking hideous. This thing looks like Twilight fan fiction. And the thing is, there is art out there for this that looks so fucking good. In fact, my intro guy will probably use it for the intro picture. And not only that, it's actually on the disc, if you can see. Let me straighten that up. I'm trying to look over here to make sure. That right there, that looks really fucking good. I don't know why they went with this. I'm thinking they went with this because people will be like, oh, yeah, if they did the other art, it would only probably appeal to like cult people who like cult films like I do. But this is so fucking ugly. Why are you so ugly? I don't know. Why are you so fat? Am I the only one that heard that? Never mind. Okay, we got on the review. This review is really on focus and everything, but still, last things is this is a great independent horror comedy. I highly recommend this if you're really into independent movies and if you like cult movies and all that. Because I don't think like the normal person would really like this, but you're watching a show called B-Movie Madness. You really know what you're getting into. I'll put a trailer at the end so you can see what it looks like in it. And I highly recommend picking this up. I don't know if it's on streaming or not at all. So you might have to blind buy this or do what you wish to try to find a copy of it. But I really highly recommend checking this out. It is fantastic. Well, I'm Jonathan Knight, and it's been B-Movie Madness. Thanks for watching.
All they wanted was to put on a play. But the members of this community theater are about to find out that secular entertainment means a standing ovation from Satan.
This show is going to knock them dead.
The Sins of Dracula. Starring a cast of immoral youths and adults that should know better. Billy should have minded his prayers.
I had sex with Shannon, now everyone's dead.
Well, that can't be a coincidence.
Tracy rolled the 12-sided dice of damnation. New Wave synthesized his undoing. For Shannon, her lust could only be satisfied by the touch of the devil. Bandilly shot hellfire straight into his veins. From the director, for whom Jesus has no more tears, and the writer, whose work Jehovah refuses to witness. A film savagely ripped from today's headlines.
You killed our friends, and you turned them into monsters.
The first time for sinking your teeth into everything.
These are merely appetizers when it comes to the sins of Dracula. If you're not in church, it's already too late.
To raise hell, you gotta do a little sinning.